It is exactly 8 p.m. in the studios of UBC TV. Hello there and welcome to News Tonight this Monday, the 6th day of January 2020. First of all, let's have a look at our top stories. Tonight, Africa Kwetu Trek entered day 3. President Museveni remembers Chiboga. People Power activist Robert Chagulanyi and a score arrested. Elsewhere in the world, Trump threatens Iraq with sanctions if US troops are expelled. And in sports, Mutesi and Bwanika exude class in pool. Hello there and welcome once again on sign language. Joining us shortly, it will be Mugalu Mohammed and I am Edward Rukidi Kijanangoman. Let's get started. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the chief trekker of the Africa Kwetu 195-kilometer walk that started over the weekend, has today continued with a 7-day journey from Bukwemere Technical Institute in Chiboga district and was expected to camp at Ndidaweru village. Now, prior to the trek, President Museveni, who camped at the late Setumba's home in Kagogo last night, paid respects to the deceased and laid a wreath on the grave. In his condolence message to the family, Mr. Museveni described the late veteran as a hero who gave shelter to him and his men during the liberation struggle.
Today I slept at Kagogo at the home of the late Setuba, who was killed by the Tanzanians. We had stayed at Setuba's place when we were coming from. When we attacked Kabamba, we first went to Chiboga. Bukomere here is 52 miles from Kampala. Chiboga is 70. I'm a miles man, you remember? So you can put it in your kilometers. So here, 52 miles will be more than 80 kilometers from Kampala. Now Chiboga is 77 miles. When we attacked Kabamba on the 6th, that's where we ended up, on the night of the 6th February. After reorganizing, we started some operations against police stations. Remember, our campaign was gun raising. For you, you talk of fundraising. But for us, we are talking about gun raising. So, we attacked a number of police stations, Kasanda, here, Bukomero, Busunju, even Kachiri. Even Kachiri, we attacked, collected guns. Then the Tanzanians attacked us on the 9th by surprise. And we had now we got sort of confused, scattered a bit. And I had come here actually to do some work here, mobilization. When I went back to the camp, I was told the camp has been attacked. So we came back and we got out. At that time, we had also made a mistake of using vehicles. Because we were using vehicles, which was a mistake. So from that time, when we got to Bukomere here, we abandoned the vehicles and walked. But later on, when we were trying to open a front in Kasejere, Tumwine came with the force and camped near Setuba's place. That's why I slept. And then the Tanzanians who were here came and attacked them. And they got scattered. And that's when Setuba was killed. This was after we attacked Kachiri. It must have been around the end of 18th of April. We had attacked Kachiri on the 6th.
7, they are laying a wreath on that tomb there. And of course, today the trek entered day 3, and the president has already covered about 80 kilometers. Now our reporters are with the trekkers, and Jagenda Semakula Ziksoka Raj is on standby right now to give us the update how today has actually gone. Raj.
Well, thank you so much. A very good evening. Welcome to UBC TV. My name is Jagenda Semakula Ziksoka, and thank you so much, Kijara Ngoma in studios. We are now right here at Ndidabweru in Chiboga district. Now, this is our 3rd district from when we began in Wakiso district. We came through Nakaseke, and we are now in the 3rd district. And of course, this is camp number 4. Now, the first camp was at Garamba in Wakiso district. Then, of course, the second camp was at Ukatira in Nakaseke. We had one yesterday in Chiboga, in Bokomero at Bokomero Technical Institute, and still in Chiboga today. We have made another close to 13 kilometers from where we were. We are now on top of this great hill called Ndidabweru. Now, before getting to this top hill, before getting to Ndidabweru here, we came through Kagogo Hill, another very terrible one. And like we can say, it's actually just getting tougher every other day, but also it's getting more interesting. And of course, it's got a lot of expedition that we are learning, and of course the good stories that we are hearing from the fighters, those who are in the jungles here. We tried it out today, and believe you me, it's really a good experience that people are actually walking and getting wherever they're supposed to be. Now, here is where we've pitched a camp tonight, and I'm just honored to have the area woman member of parliament, who is also the government chief whip, Honorable Ruth Nankabirwa, who is just right with me here. You're most welcome, Honorable Nankabirwa. Thank you so much. You are live on UBC TV this evening. We are in your district. And yes, the world is watching you. So far, what would you tell the people who are actually not with us, but those who are actually following what is actually happening from this side?
I hope they are enjoying what they are watching, but they have missed the fun. They have missed a very, very good experience. And actually today I think was the toughest because we climbed the hill, and I thought that climbing was the most difficult. But coming down,
actually descending the hill is what was
descending a stony hill. A stony hill was quite challenging, and we didn't make a stopover like we've been making a stopover after like 7 kilometers or 5 kilometers. We've been sitting down and having something to drink. This time when we set up from Bokomero Vacation Technical Institute, we climbed the hill, came down to Kalagala, and our first stopover was at Kalagala on the tarmac. Mzee was almost killing us. You know, it was tough, but very, very interesting. Time came when we were not talking. Everybody was for himself, watching his or her steps. But it was good. We found a huge crowd waiting for us, jubilating, clapping, and they were very happy to receive us.
Let's talk about the expectations. I know you're one of those who knew about this and how it would happen, because when the archives unit, of course, drew a plan of how it's going to be, where you're going to trek, and of course because you come from Luwero Triangle, the expectations of this whole business and what it is basically, are you meeting the expectations, or we're just doing some routine?
I actually expected the president to cross-check on what we are doing as the leaders. I expected that. I expected him to interact with the people, to ask them what the issues are regarding government programs. And I was ready, at least for my own district, I was ready. And the president has been very happy because he has been able to see some progress in as far as household incomes are concerned. He's been informed of the new program that I initiated here in Chiboga, whereby I'm targeting households at a parish level, and I came up with a group of extensionists whom I'm facilitating to make sure that they prepare the recipients or the beneficiaries of Operation Wealth Creation early enough before things are distributed, and also teaching them on how to tender their gardens, banana plantations, and also to help them on the enterprise selection, not to get involved in planting things which do not yield much. So here he's been able to know that onions, for example, work very well in Bukomero, Kagogo area, and he has been interacting with the onion growers. Yes, onion growers. And then the intercropping, which we do, onions and bananas, and then bananas and coffee, and he has been impressed, and I was relieved because he's not an easy president. He cross-checks on you, the leader, and if you are not bonding very well with your people, then you know that it's not going to be.
I work together with the government spokesperson, my own OB, Ofono Pondo, and State Minister for ICT, Peter Gwang, and the Tourism Minister, the State for Tourism. We went through a particular rock, hill, of course, and there was some water that was dripping from it. I think it's called Pokoto or something like that, or Pokota or something. And the people told us they all just go there and draw water, and we just got wondering, isn't there water? It's very clean water, because actually we tried it out, we took it very cold, very clean, and of course it looked very safe. And but is that the only source of water for the people? Because we looked at it and said, yes, if this is why you're coming to get water every day, then you may end up actually not doing certain things.
Yeah. As you saw the terrain, it is a very hilly place.
Very hilly.
And stony at the same time. The hills are, the rock. So getting water from the rocks becomes quite challenging. But at the same time, water collects in some of those rocks and exits and forms falls. And we have to use that as an opportunity to trap that water and make people utilize it. Secondly, we border with Nakaseke, and in between us we have River Mayanja, which has huge volumes of water. We've been able to get a project where we are drawing that water and up to a tank on which was put on one of the hills here in Bukomero, and the whole of Bukomero is going to get that tap water, including Katera, and also coming towards this side called the Mokati. And I think people will be getting water. Digging boreholes in this area is not easy. There are places where you can't find water even underneath the rocks. Places like Biko, which is very near Ndirabweru, Biko, Bulamazi. The word Bulamazi means there's no water. We have a whole village called Bulamazi. There is no water. So the challenge is that you can't dig a borehole. So you have to get machinery and dig dams, and then pray that it rains so that water collects. Okay. If it doesn't rain, then the people will not be having.
On the president's message, he's talking about 4 or 5 things, and I just want to 6 things actually. But I just want to look at UPE, universal secondary education, universal primary education, which actually says he needs to get the critical mass from the Wananchi, and of course interest you NRM members of parliament to see how to actually revive this business. Are we spending a lot of money on a project that we think is not yielding results, or what do you think? And in case the president comes to you, NRM members of parliament, will you support him on universal education?
I think, like the president said, that the teachers have betrayed him by asking money from the parents. But for me, I have a different version. On top of the teachers asking for the money, there are parents who sit with the teachers and agree to pay something so that they improve on the education standards. I have witnessed this, but of course I couldn't tell the president when he was addressing the people. So that is why he has come out with the idea of carrying out a sort of referendum, going down to all the villages. He has instructed the new Minister of Local Government to go down or to mobilize the people to sit in meetings, to sit in meetings and ask the people what they want. Do they want to co-share, to pay some little money so that they can cater for the inadequacies, the challenges that they have, at school, maybe building teachers' houses or motivating teachers so that they can teach well. That's why he has come up with that idea. And I think that will be a referendum. If it is carried out at every village in the country, what will come out is what is going to form the policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, finally, how many of your fellow ministers are still here? Because we started with very many. Are they still with you? Are they getting more? Are we getting more? Or every other day they're bowing out of the exercise?
Yes, today we've been joined by one MP, Honorable Katoto Atwibo from Katerera, yes. And I would like to welcome him. But we are still few, and some people are calling us, they are calling me, wishing us well. I've been encouraging others to come and share with us this experience, but I've not been able to add on my numbers. And some ministers have gone back because of other official duties. Yes.
Okay. Where do we go next after here, finally?
Well, we are going to go through Mubende. There is a place called Butologo.
Tomorrow?
Yes. There's a place called Butologo, and we shall exit Chivoga district and then enter Mitiana.
Is it another hill because we need to mentally prepare ourselves?
Yes. We are going to experience another hill.
Tougher than this or a little mile?
Equally tough, yes.
And how many kilometers?
Unless we divert. I think we shall do 14
kilometers.
Yes, rest and then do another 4, because we were supposed to begin with the 28, then 22, and then 14, and then we reduce as we move towards Sivirembo.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I really want to thank you so much. Maybe one final word to the viewers of UBC.
Well, thank you very much, those who have tuned on UBC, and I hope you have enjoyed. This is our broadcasting, and stay tuned. You are yet to see more as we move on towards Sivirembo. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. And surprisingly, the minister is actually walking. They are not driving in cars like we thought. We possibly thought ministers would get somewhere driving their cars.
Going through it for the second time, because I participated in 1999. Yes, 20 years ago. And we are still moving on. Well,
thank you so much and a very good night, Honorable Minister. We just want to wish you well again tomorrow for another hurdle that is ahead of us. Well, I've just been told Zay Tony Geoffrey Wana, well, one of those who planned the trips here, he's right with us here. Yes, Ndugu Tony Geoffrey Wana, I want to thank you so much that you're with us here and your experience of what is actually happening, because I do not know what you envisage and what you see and what you can actually tell the public when you are here in Ndirawero.
Well, I'm very glad to be here. History is in the making. I was in Kampala about 4 hours ago, and I looked at the social media platforms. There's fire. There are those who are praising this as having taken too long to happen. Others are saying waste of time, waste of money, what? But that is all attention. So with me, this is a learning process, and I'm very proud that I have been involved in its preparation. This is the work of NRA Archives Unit, in which I'm one of the moving spirits behind. We are led by Madam Alice Kaboyo, and we are really doing some research into the history of this country with Comrade Hippo Twebaze and a team of very young people, young like you. We are Mchanganyiko, and at the end of the day we shall be able to kickstart the NRA Archives Museum, which is the brainchild of President Yoweri Museveni. Because of my busy schedule, I managed to dodge most of the walking, and I suspect I would have managed.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Comrade Tony. Okay. We really thank you so much. But you're okay. Age limit? You're okay.
No. We removed the age limit. Yes, what we didn't remove is age. Yes. Age is okay. But to deny me a chance to walk because I'm old, no.
Well, Well, that's what is actually happening from Ndiraweru here in Chiboga district. We are on top of the hill, and actually while we're standing here, you can just look at all the other hills, and it just gives you the image of what this could have been like, or what this actually was like in 1981 when the soldiers and the rebels were actually in the jungles here trying to fight the government forces of the UNLA, and of course hearing different stories. What we only want to promise you is that tomorrow in the morning again, before the president flags us again for the next Butologo, as the Honorable Minister here has told us, we'll still hear stories of those who were in this particular area, and of course the reason why this actually happened here. We now want to get you back to our studios where Kijana Ngoma is, and of course from us here at Ndiraweru in Chiboga, we want to just say, well, it's a blessed night and a good night as we continue inspiring Uganda. Back to you, Edward Rukidi, Kijana Ngoma, in our studios.
Thank you so much, Jagenda Semakula, and of course, good night to you and all the other members of the UBC crew that are trekking along President Yoweri Museveni. And of course, in the report there, you saw Ruth Nankabira, who is the government chief whip, but also the woman member of parliament for Chiboga, and also finally it was Mzee Geoffrey Owanda, and he is saying he's been dodging, but we do hope that he does not dodge the remainder of the trek there. And of course, so tomorrow morning here on Good Morning Uganda, we'll be giving you the updates, what is happening, and we'll also be going live. But that has been Jagenda Semakula reporting live from Ndiraweru village in Chiboga. Now, moving on, consultations by Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the leader of People Power political pressure group and presidential aspirant, have failed following police intervention. Now, while addressing the media during a weekly press briefing at Naguru Police Headquarters, police spokesperson Fred Enanga said 16 people, including 3 members of parliament, have been arrested. Take a look.
Police has warned to disperse meetings of political actors who will not follow the law. This follows police interference in the first consultative meeting of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu of People Power Pressure Group. It was due to take place at Our Lady of Good Counsel Playground in Gayaza.
The boarders who were trying to cause havoc and promote hooliganism and public disorder in Kasangat, about 13 of them were arrested.
Police spokesperson Fred Enanga says Robert Kyagulanyi wrote to police, who replied him through the Assistant Inspector General of Police, instructing him to comply with Section 10 of the Public Order Management Act.
Now, if you're having 2,000 delegates or officials, how many stewards are you availing who are supposed to help in policing and giving support services to these 2,000 delegates? Now, if you don't have that information, you're going to have a lot of disorderliness in the workforce.
Most of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's venues are in open places, yet according to police, Electoral Commission had guided to hold them in closed places. Enanga says this is being used as a tool to upfront campaign by political actors. Meanwhile, the exercise of electronic registration of firearms is expected to end February for police, civilians and private security companies.
Is not going to renew any firearm for a civilian individual who has not brought his gun for electronic registration. Therefore, it means that once they don't have renewed licenses, they will be possessing those firearms illegally and can be charged for illegal possession of the firearm.
In Chito Chira on Sunday, 2 people were shot and 1 died instantly following shooting by security personnel. The dead is identified as Yaka Ashraf, a resident of Nansana.
We are currently investigating. Our teams in Chira division are working with this 7 Guardian group to make sure that they bring their officers who are on ground at that particular moment with all their guns, which shall in turn be submitted because this company is known, so that we can audit these guns very well and know which gun shot this person.
Meanwhile, during the New Year festivities, police reports 33 major incidents, 23 deaths, 17 people suspected to have been involved in murders, 12 people murdered, 3 by shooting and 3 cases of aggravated robbery. There was no major public disorder and terror. I'm Nafka Farida and Andrew Sebira in Kampala.
Thanks, Farid and Andrew, for that report there. And of course, prior to that press conference, police had engaged supporters of People Power activist, also Member of Parliament Chadondo East, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, after cancelling the planned consultative meeting at Our Lady Council in Kasangati. Now, Kyagulanyi and a number of people have been arrested, leaving some journalists injured. Let's have this story.
Chadondo East Member of Parliament Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu today morning left home in Margaret to join the spokesperson Joel Senyonyi, Asman Basalirwa and the Mayor of Kawempe Emmanuel Serunjoji in Gayaza. Before reaching the destination, Kyagulanyi and colleagues were cordoned off by police with an intention of stopping them to attend the consultation. Police spokesperson Freddie Nanga says this consultation was placed in an open place which contravenes the...
was supposed to have the first meeting today at Our Lady of Good Counsel in the playground, which is an open venue. So that was one of the grounds for not to allowing him to go ahead. The same applies with the meeting in Guru. It is at the hotel grounds at the Convenant. This is an open venue. Of course, we are reviewing case by case, but in Lira, he has indicated that they will be holding their consultative meetings at Grand Pacific Hotel, which is a closed setting, which is okay. And then also in Ajumani at Lavik Country Resort, which has a closed town hall meeting.
The situation created chaos along Gayaza Road, where supporters started burning tires in the middle of the roads, forcing police to intervene. Police arrested Kyagulanyi and a score of supporters confined them at Kasangati police station before being whisked off to an unknown destination. It's remembered that Kyagulanyi appealed to the Electoral Commission and the Parliament seeking for permission for the consultations and was allowed. The first consultation was scheduled for today and he was expected to be in Gulu tomorrow for another consultation with the citizens. Shaidat Nasaku and Lydia Chomukama reporting for UBC.
And after 2 days of intriguing and at times nerve-wracking action, the Empire Casino Kampala Open Pool Championship has climaxed. Now the action was at the Arena Bar and Grill. We have this story from our sports reporter, John Barnes Sentamo.
The belated 2019 Empire Casino Kampala Open Pool Championship has climaxed with Bwanika Mansour and Rashida Mutesi claiming top honors. Bwanika Mansour endured a torrid side of the draw, needing a decider frame to edge Fadse Wankamu in the last 8 and also against Ibra Sewali in the semi-finals. His tidings are changed in the final, in which he had a smooth sailing over Mustafa Bwire, whom he defeated 7-4 to defend his crown and win the top 2 million shillings kitty. In the ladies category, Rashida Mutesi dispatched Ritene Musima in the semi-final before outclassing Vicky Namuyanja with a decider frame in the final. She thus won herself the top 1.2 million shillings cash prize at this Empire Casino sponsored event.
This is very impressive. The numbers are huge, the players are experienced. It's really a lovely crowd. It's very impressive. We are honored. In fact, we're very thankful to be part of this competition. It's very impressive and we're looking forward to work again with you.
Pool Association of Uganda Interim Committee Chairperson Sebi Adam confirmed that the election pathway is complete with the elective annual general meeting due on 19th January. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting. John Barnes,
Sentamo with that sports report there. And now, before we leave you, let's have A quick look at the weather forecast for tomorrow as we prepare for whether you should put on a cardigan or just wear light clothes.
Good evening, I'm Juliet Nantaza with today's weather forecast. Most parts of the country had sunny intervals while the others had cloudy conditions. When we take a look at the rainfall data received, it shows that Kasese had 12.5 millimeters, Mbara had 16 millimeters, while Masaka had 4.3 millimeters. When we take a look at the satellite image, it shows that the Kong air mass is pushing moist winds towards our country, and then the ITCZ has moved further south of our country. Tomorrow morning, we expect most parts of the country to be with sunny intervals. Later on in the afternoon, the Lake Victoria Basin, we expect some rain, while other parts of the country, we expect sunny intervals. Temperatures are expected to rise to 31 degrees in the northern parts of our country. Kampala, temperatures are expected to rise to 27 degrees Celsius, while Kabale, temperatures are expected to rise to 23 degrees. Elsewhere, Mombasa and New York, we expect rain, while Dubai, Paris, and then London, we expect cloudy conditions. That's all we had for you from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. Stay tuned.
Juliet, for that weather forecast, and of course we do hope that the viewer have been ably prepared for the day. And that brings us to the end of news tonight, but do remember that our next bulletin comes your way at 10 p.m. See you then.
This festive season, enjoy great My Pack